Hi fellow spooky nerds and delightful weirdos. In this video I am going to take you through step-by-step, relatively cheap way of masculinizing myself to cosplay my Dungeons & Dragons OC, Orion Darcy. He is a multi-class true vampire, homebrewed. He is a cavalier fighter. Currently he only has one aquatic steed, and that would be the great white shark that follows our boat around, named Big Daddy. And he is also a warlock to a dark fae patron. He is sensitive, very tall, fit as a fiddle, and covered in Celtic-like tattoos. They're from our homebrew world, so they're not really Celtic, but you get me. It is a total dream boat that I will never be able to fully capture in a cosplay. But let's try anyway. Here are the 10 easy steps that I use to turn my little femme self into a muscular vampire man. I'm Cora Poe, and this is Slumbermyth, a place for insomnia fuel. Before we do anything, please, for the love of God, any pullover costume pieces that you have, put them on first, and then cover them in a towel or a robe. Also, if you're wearing a wig, it will fuck up your wig. So put those clothes on first and then cover them to protect them from the makeup application process. Seriously, there's nothing more annoying than smearing your just finished makeup and dirtying your new costume with your own face at the end of the entire process. It's not super time consuming, but it's just enough to really piss you off if this happens, so please just put your shit on first, guys. Other thing before we start is to make sure you have a timer handy. Whether it's Google or Alexa or just on your phone, have it right next to you while you're getting all set up, and it will help a lot. I'm now going to put on screen the list of materials that I use for this whole cosplay. It does involve a little bit of crafting and like a ton of different kinds of makeup things. So I'm going to put that list up, and then the Amazon links to anything I got on Amazon will be down in the cards, because like I said, I'm trying to keep the recipe for this all very cost effective. All right, let's get started. First and foremost, get your hair up and out of the way. Because I am wearing a wig, I am going to do rough pigtails and then pin them to the opposite side of my head. I naturally have very short hair, you know this, but I have these cool extensions on just for anyone who has very long hair and wants to wear a wig. A great way of doing it is to instead coil, still do pigtails, and then coil them around the back of your head and pin that one side down. If you are using a wig cap that looks more like a foot stocking, like at the shoe store, that doesn't really have holes in it, I would recommend using bobby pins in multiple places to hold each pigtail swirled around your head. If you have a fishnet wig cap, I would recommend using more snap clips. They'll be flatter against your head and will be less likely to snag on your fishnet wig cap than a typical nylon one. Once you have your hair up, any strays that you have in the way that you don't want to pop out of your wig, just use more clips or bobby pins, whichever you prefer, to get those up and out of the way. Next, we are going to put on our wig cap over the head. This is the way I like to do it best. If you have a different way that you think will work better for you, please go ahead with that. Next, we'll be moving on to the vampire teeth. The way you soften the plastic, or the way that I like to do it at least, is I will pour water into a mug, microwave the mug until the water is pretty hot. I'll maybe do 1.5 to 2 minutes, and take a spoon. Then put a few beads. I like to be more generous with it and then remove any extra material as needed. So I would put 6 to 10 beads in the spoon and gently and carefully dip that spoon into the water. Once the material starts to lighten and soften and eventually become clear, that means it is malleable enough to use. Please ensure that you wait a few seconds before popping it into your mouth or touching it with your bare fingers, or it will burn you. It will be steaming, so you can kind of tell once the steaming isn't as severe that it's safe to touch. Place the warm putty-like substance into the little tooth holes where your tooth will go into the vampire tooth in that little tray. Then pop it onto your tooth, whichever ones you want, and use your fingers to delicately manipulate the putty-like material in a way that will help secure that tooth to your mouth. Before you take your hands away and leaving the tooth in your mouth, you want to make sure that the tooth will stay on by itself. This might require you to hold it in place for like a minute. Hopefully not, and if not, you know it's really secure. Once your vampire teeth are properly molded around your own teeth, please allow them to harden a little further around your teeth for about 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, gently pop them out of your mouth and put them off to the side. Please ensure that they don't get bumped or the putty material doesn't become squashed or remolded. Put them off to the side somewhere safe so that they can harden a little bit more. Set a timer for 5 minutes to let your teeth further harden and keep the shape of the mold, and we'll put them back in a little bit. Step 4. While we are waiting for our teeth, let's start the base coat of foundation to make sure you are using a shade at least 2 levels lighter than your natural skin tone. Oneday Whitener, the Amazon link of which is provided in the cards, is a great product for lightening your body tone. This product will lighten any skin tone by 2 to 5 levels and use multiple layers to lighten further. 1 layer might be plenty, or maybe you'll need 4. It's a semi-large bottle, so don't be afraid to go heavy with it if you need it. And on that note, while we are creating our skin color for the vampire aesthetic, please get orange or red masking tape for your optional pointed ears. I recommend orange and red at 2-inch masking tape. Start by wrapping around the top of your ears gently, 1 layer per ear alternating, so you can ensure they're even as you go on creating them. Wrap each layer at an angle, which causes it to taper into a tight triangular point. Use red, pink, yellow, and black or white acrylic paint to mix it until it matches your light vampire tone that you've created on your face. Once you believe your paint to be the correct color to match your skin and your vampire tone, gently remove them with your fingertips. Place each finger in the part that covers the ears where the raw tape is still showing, and then transfer it to a small item that you can use as a stand. Place where it can allow the ears to dry, and proceed to paint the rest of the ears. Set aside to dry for 10 minutes to an hour. I recommend 1 single generous coat, as it'll dry faster than multiple, and the orange or red tape takes on any complexion tone quite well. Step 6, I'm going to start masculinizing my face with a cool color palette to form masculine shadows and contouring on the face. If you're already male, I'd recommend using this pattern as well, just to sharpen your features to make them more pronounced, handsome, and vampiric. Those sharp features will really make it pop. Then pop your teeth back in your mouth so they fit properly. Gingerly place them back on. It may feel a little weird because the putty naturally will have shifted a little bit as it dried, so you are going to have to kind of click them into place, and you want to allow them to totally harden around your teeth. You are free to wear them for the rest of the day or wait 20 minutes to remove them. Just make sure that they're on there long enough to fully cool and take the shape around your teeth. Step 8, use a cool toned natural lipstick, chapstick, etc. I personally like to use Wet n Wild's chinchilla colored lipstick, which is only like 75 cents to like $3 depending on where you get it from. I also use the lipstick to darken the key points of my already contoured face. Use the same darker contour on your ears as well once they're dry to make any shadows that you think make sense. Once that's done, do a once over to ensure your makeup is everything you want it to be, adjust as needed. And if you're good to go, powder your face with a sebum powder to set the makeup. The link for my favorite one is in the cards. It's inexpensive, lightweight, very fine. This sebum powder will make your makeup caked face feel soft as hell to the touch, yet locking in all that makeup. So it's not the end of the world if you brush it at some point during the day, or it's not going to stick to your hands or your clothing as badly as if you just left. Step 8. Apply a mascara to your lashes and eyebrows, which match whatever wig you're wearing or the hair you have that you're using. I have an Amazon link for my favorite one that's pretty inexpensive down in the cards. I obviously have this in straight up bright red. So they have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, indigo, violet. They have all of the colors. They have black, they have white, and I'll do multiple coats of this to my eyelashes, and maybe just because I'm masculinizing my face, I'll do multiple coats to my eyebrows as well. And when doing my eyebrows, I'm likely going to use a black fine tip eyebrow drawing tool. The one I like best is Snatched by NYX, and I'll use that to just kind of make my eyebrows look bigger than they are and fill them out at that bottom line. Once my makeup is all done and in place and in the way I like it, and after putting that sebum powder on to set it and lock it in for the day, I move on to step 9, which is to gently drop anti-red eye drops into your eyes and have a paper towel or a soft cloth nearby to ensure that the tears from putting the eye drops in don't fall and streak your makeup. The drops help flush out any makeup particles that are already stuck in your eyes, and then it's time to put in your contacts. Lastly, carefully pop your wig on or style your hair as you please. I recommend bedhead glue for wigs. It's immensely sticky and dries a little bit hard, and it just really keeps shit in place where you want it. And those are the 10 easy steps I use to masculinize my face for my vampire cosplay. And frankly, you can adjust the colors as needed if you just want to masculinize your face and not be a vampire. The same kind of rules apply, just subtract the lightening aspect. Just use colors that match your normal face. As always, thank you so much for watching, and happy nightmares.